So, just say and spell your name and the seat that you're running for.
Berlin Boyd,
Just look here.
Berlin Boyd, Berlin Boyd, City Council, District 7.
Okay, sorry. And just so you know, what we're running this in, I don't have one with me, but I'll show you the electronic version. It's called It's All About Raleigh, Fraser, North Memphis. Have you ever seen our newsletter?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's what it's going to run there. The video version will run in the electronic version of it, but we'll transcribe it and have a printed version, with your picture and stuff on there for the print version of it.
Okay.
And we're not going to, just so you know, we may or may not endorse. I don't know. From news magazine, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But just like I, showed you this. I showed Anthony Anderson. He came earlier, done his. So we kind of just want to, present something balanced, so that everybody can, kind of make a decision, as they want. But we may at the end. I don't know. I'm not right now. I don't feel like I don't want to endorse it. To be honest with you, I'd rather, we present y'all to the people, and but if we do, you definitely know ahead of time. So.
All right.
So, and thank you. First of all, thank you for coming out. This is not state representative. It's all about Raleigh, Fraser, North Memphis. And just so you know, our publication, we're having a relaunch, and you're invited to the relaunch reception. Did you get that email?
Could have,
Coming
man.
up on the 28th. So I'll tell you more about that
Okay.
before you leave. Okay. So I want you to come out and we celebrating that and celebrating our cover folks, which is CEO and COO Methodist North too. So.
Okay.
Okay. Cool deal. All right. So. You made it to City Council. Congratulations again, City Council District 7 runoff. So, how does it make you feel?
Man, it's great. It's an honor that roughly 2,600 people felt the same way, that I was fit to serve them and represent their needs. So I'm excited to not only have the appointment twice by my peers, but now to have the majority of the vote from the voters in District 7.
Okay. All right. So tell us this, in your gut of guts, why are you running for this?
Man, I'm running for City Council because I have a passion to serve. I care about people. It's not about me. It's about the individuals that I represent. A lot of people are chosen and called to do certain things, become a preacher or spread the gospel. But I believe that God chose me to serve people in the public service capacity. So that's why I'm here. I mean, I run my own business, and from that aspect, I'm not looking for a job, but I'm looking to help others succeed in life.
All right. What would you say is your strength?
My strength is my capacity, my knowledge of government. Being involved in government as long as I have been behind the scenes, I have a vast array of knowledge of how the process works. I also have existing relationships with my other colleagues that it take, one thing about the council, you're not the lone ranger. It's the executive branch of government, so it takes 6 other votes to get things done. I have those relationships.
Okay. What would you say is your weakness?
I think my weakness is I'm an overachiever, so I put a ton of things on my plate and I try to deliver on everything, and sometimes I get a little too overwhelmed and I have to draw back some of the things that I plan to accomplish within a certain period of time.
And we appreciate your candid, man. I share the same struggles too. Now let me ask you this: what makes you different than your opponent?
I'm a native Memphian. I live in the district. I'm born and raised in Memphis. I have family in North Memphis. I have family that lives in Fraser. I have family that lives throughout the city of Memphis. I have a vested interest here in the city of Memphis. My business is in Memphis. So, I'm over a 5th generation Memphian. So I'm vested. I'm vested here. I'm not some outside person coming in saying what I want to do and haven't done anything, but I've been here. I've been working behind the scenes and been active in various communities implementing programs. So I think it's a vast difference between myself and my opponent.
And you mentioned your business, for our viewers and our readers. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, I wear 2 hats. I develop real estate, and I also own a company called Boyd and Associates, which Boyd and Associates is a company that provide government relations services primarily outside of the city of Memphis and Nashville primarily.
All right. Okay. What have you done in District 7 prior to running?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, I've been involved in various communities throughout North Memphis. Hyde Park, we've been very instrumental. And before the whole Goodwill Village piece came out, we've been instrumental being over in Goodwill Village trying to provide fair and adequate housing for those people. I've been active in the Nutbush community of trying to rid blighted properties over in Nutbush. I've been active as president of HOA association in my neighborhood, not only in my neighborhood, but I was president of the whole neighborhood consortium that comprised of all of my neighborhood association in one. So as it pertains to volunteering over at Hume's, Menances, my resume and background of involvement in the district is extensive.
What do you see as the specific needs for District 7?
Man, what aren't the needs of District 7?
Let me preface that because I did in the earlier interview also. You know, District 7 is somewhat of a unique district because it is very dynamic in its charter in the areas of District 7. You know, you go from Harbortown to Ridge Grove. You know, and it's two totally polar opposite communities, but they all face their specific needs. So what do you think what do you see as the specific needs for District 7?
Well, I think District 7, like any other district in the city of Memphis, we definitely have a crime problem. We have to address crime, but we also have a poverty problem in our district. We have to start providing jobs, not just any kind of job, but we have to start providing fair and livable wage jobs. As you know, household median income in District 7 in certain parts is $6,000 annually. How can somebody adequately live off of $6,000 a year? You cannot do that. So I think that until we're able to address the poverty issue, then we won't be able to address the crime issue. Crime and poverty goes together like a hand in glove. So one thing that I'm going to do once elected is poverty is top priority on my radar.
Okay, all right. What is your vision for the district?
My vision is to provide adequate services and good representation for District 7. As an interim councilman in roughly 6 months, I've brought $3.8 million to District 7 in FY16 budget alone. So I want to make sure District 7 gets proper representation. I want to make sure that District 7 has a voice and advocate. I want to make sure that we get adequate programs, rebuild and refurbish our libraries, our parks, our community centers. We can do that. I want to make sure streets are paved within our district. I want to bring government back to the people. It's been the opposite. People have been depending and bringing that to the government, but I want to bring government back to people.
Okay, all right. Okay. So, do you have a specific plan to achieve that?
Yes, here in Frazier, and I know this is all about Raleigh Frazier, I've been working with the Bells family to get them to go ahead and already rezone their property across from the Nike factory. The reason being, I'd rather be in the ready position, because if we get somebody interested in bringing a new business into the Frazier community, we don't need to go and say, well, we have this property across from Nike, but now we got to go through the process to get it rezoned. So just in case Adidas call and say, we want to build this huge facility to compete with Nike, we have the property available. That's a plan that we put in action. I've also written an industrial redevelopment plan to address North Memphis, how we can advance on brownfields redevelopment. I also put together a plan that I'm trying to get implemented right now with minority businesses to address local small minority business and bringing where the city of Memphis will become a self-certifying entity. So they won't have to go to the MMBC. They can come to City Hall and certify themselves to do business with the city.
You got some other things that's on, from what I understand, that may be on the radar.
One key thing that's on the radar right now is big. It's called mow to own. It's where you can go out, you can mow a property next door to you, adjacent or behind you across the street, and you can own that property. That will reduce blight. That will create neighborhood stabilization. That will also create neighborhood, the key is reduce crime and create the neighborhood stabilization part, and then it create more property owners, which create value in your property and growth.
So, what are your thoughts on police and fire pensions?
That was a tough one. the fortunate part for me, I will say this, I was not on the council when the pension cuts were done. As we know, we definitely have a budget issue. I think that that's something in order for us to attract new police officers, to retain our existing police and fire, we will have to address that. But one thing we do know that we are not the only city in the United States of America that's dealing with the same crisis of a pension cut. So Atlanta's dealing with it now. We know other cities across the United States facing the same problem, but we have to sweeten the pie, I think, especially for public safety. We're going to have to figure something out, and I think next year we're definitely going to have to deal with that.
What will you do about, well, before we go there, let's, I don't even know what this is right here, just give me a second. What about, what's your plan or your ideas on generating additional revenue for the city?
You know, we have to think outside the box. One thing that I've been tossing around to people, city attorney, the council attorney, is if there's a way that we can create a system where if you live outside the city of Memphis and you work in the city of Memphis, then you can get a work visa or work pass. Similar to the old inspection stickers where we used to have on our windshield. Well, you could pay $300 annually and you have a right. That money, those revenues can start going back into our paving, street paving, because they have wear and tear on our streets. We have to start being creative and stop just thinking the only way to raise revenue in the city of Memphis is taxing